wanna know how we do it in Yorkshire? We still get packs and put it in portions. Back then we were smashing up courses. YJ must still get tortured.
Good morning, my gooners. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Now, this is the first time I've ever decided to do this. I created this to, be a conspiracist, to defend Arsenal. But for the first ever time, I'm doing a reaction video. Because my boy, I say my boy, don't know him, big up Troops, made me laugh for years before I even jumped on this thing. Maybe Reese, you're my sort of personality, my guy. Troops has clapped back to Simon Jordan. Big boy Troops, and Troops never fails to disappoint. Got me in stitches. I can't even, give you a bit of context, yeah? Simon Jordan, a guy from TalkSport, never really liked his personality. He always seemed a bit stuck up to me, always seemed a bit just like a prick. An entitled, silver spoon fed, I've been successful, so I'm above everybody else kind of prick. And he kind of has this sort of arrogance that he's carried himself with. And I was actually, a month or two ago, he said some things that pissed me off about the Gunners. He was jumping on the whole narrative bandwagon, all the shit that you'd see, and it seemed like he's turning it around, and a couple of the things he said has been on the other side of defending Arsenal. So I thought, give you a break, man. You're just saying what needs to be said so you can stay relevant. Fuck it. You're obviously just, you don't really, even though he can make it come across as his own opinion, doesn't really have his own opinion, because I've seen him move the goalposts a lot of the time with his opinion with Arsenal. But anyway, moving on to that, he's obviously called out AFTV and Troops and all these other YouTube platforms. Obviously not me, man. It's a little thing here. I've just started. But he's called these lot out, and at the same time complimenting Mark Goldbridge, even though he's one of these YouTube things. So let me just show you what Troops' response is to be called out, yeah? Let me show you what his response is.
Like a blood clot again, you understand? I didn't think I'd be back until Friday for back again, but I'm here now, you get me? Because I've been called out. I've been called out again by the orange flare, the sunbed using Oompa Loompa, that is Simon Jordan, you get me? Man cooked this guy 7 years ago, and now he's come back again for another cooking blood, you get me? He did take my advice though, you understand? Because if you go back and look at that 2019 video when Robbie cooked him, yeah, his hair was mad thin, bro.
You see, and it's not lying. I didn't even watch Simon Jordan back then, but I've seen clips of him being pulled up about certain shit he said in the past. First thing I thought is, you got something called Mickey Mouse head. I don't know why I said Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse ain't got no. But just some little wig head. Some little wig on your head. And I'm thinking, why? Things have changed. Rapper's got a lot more hair than he did back then. You're answering it now, Troops.
You understand? I told him with all that money, you need to chat to your barber. I think the brother went turkey because his hair is looking a lot better than it was at that time. You get me? My thing's natural though. Yeah, this ain't turkey. You get me? You can blatantly see it's a turkey thing because the way your thing was thin like silver Rizzler blood. That's how thin your hair was, bro. Do you understand? Now it's looking like, you get me? You can get a brand deal from L'Oreal. You understand? You could fully get that right now, blood. You get me? But we are here because you, yet again, running up your mouth, blood. You get me? I'm here, minding my business, enjoying being Premier League champions, enjoying being an Arsenal fan, yet again, blood.
And you enjoy it, Troops. We all enjoying it. Who fucking knows? Yeah, we all enjoying it. You keep going.
You get me? But I got this idiot, yeah, running up his mouth in the TalkSport studios, blood. Now, I never speak on this man because it ain't on my radar, blood. You understand? I'm in my lane, I'm doing my thing, and I just keep it like that, blood. You know what I mean? This brother here, he's saying that in the small world that we are, meaning the YouTube space, it's obviously not that small though, is it, blood? Because you're here talking about me on big mainstream radio, blood. You get me? Remember, I'm not in the industry. I'm the one they keep out the industry, blood. I'm on the borderline. I'm not even on borderline, bro. I'm just here. Freelance. Own man. My IP. Emmy, you're a worker. You understand? You have a boss. I ain't got a boss. You used to be a boss. But then what happened to Crystal Palace? You nearly ran them into the ground, bro. You understand?
And you see, when I was going to do this my little bit of venting and, pull up Simon Jordan for some of the things he said, I did a bit of research and I see that, it was the order of Crystal Palace, race, but none of it says how my man nearly ran them into the ground. What it says on Google Wikipedia is that my man obviously, bought it and sold it for a profit. So I don't know what Troops means about an failed businessman, because if you buy something and then sell it for more than what you bought it for, I wouldn't really call that a failed attempt or a failed business transaction. So I don't really know what it's saying there, but I don't know the facts. Wikipedia's Wikipedia, innit?
People have to come and save them from administration. You get me? But you obviously got your money back up finally because your hair's looking pretty decent, blood. You get me? Maybe you're jealous that I went to the parade and you couldn't go to the Crystal Palace parade. Is it that? Because it just seems, you get me, a lot of jealousy, a lot of undertone, you know what, blood, a lot of undertone racism, blood. You get me? Because man's out here saying that, you get me, Goldbridge is doing it the right way. Goldbridge is making his money for himself. So what do you think I'm making my money for? Do you think I'm flooding the streets of London with drugs and guns? Do you think I'm a fucking leader of a gang? We think this is, bro. Why is Goldbridge doing it the right way, and me, Robbie, AFTV aren't doing it the right way?
That's a good question, Simon. Now, I know you're probably going to think you're too big and you're too sophisticated to answer to troops, but if you can call man's name out, you can answer them questions there. You can actually answer them questions. What is the difference between what troops and AFTV are doing to Mark Goldbridge? Is it because Mark Goldbridge sold his thing to Gary Neville? What is it about? Is it about that he's done some big business transaction and now he's working for someone like you on his own channel? Is that it? Or is there an undertone to this? Is there something where you don't rate how man put their message across, how man voiced their frustrations, because it's not in your sophisticated way, because it's not in your, let me just say it, posh, arrogant way, because that's how you sound. Posh and arrogant, blood.
Why is that? Why is that? Why do you think that? Why do you like Goldbridge, but you don't like us? You understand? You love coming with your undertone about, oh, they say things that people can't understand. People understand me, blood. You understand? People understand me, bro. Trust me. You get me? And it's because of pricks like you, yeah? Because of idiot people like you, stuck up streaks of piss like yourself, yeah? Why I made Troops TV, bro. Do you understand? To give people like me a platform. To give people like me a place to say what they think. Because you, man, ain't giving us the opportunity. You lot look down on us. You understand? You're in your nice studio, getting your nice little wage. You get me? Doing your thing, nice and comfortable, big camera. You understand? Big mainstream radio. You get me? Loving life, bro. You understand? I'm in my little thing. Get me? Pushing along. You feel me? Representing the culture. You understand? You don't represent that, bro. You get me? So you will never understand why we do what we do, bro. You understand? You are just an absolute hater, bro. You get me? Every time your views are low, you talk about us. Every time, blood. Every time there's a slow news day, they talk about us, bro. You understand? There's millions of people you could talk about, bro. You understand? But you're here talking about me, blood. You get me? Why don't you talk about how you ran your club into the ground? You understand? Why don't you talk about how you...
Yeah. So, there we go. There you have it. Troops goes in on my man. I mean, he says a bit more, but let me just leave it at that because my man's obviously said what he needed to say. Simon, I don't even want to say you got any explaining to do. Just buckle down and hold it down, man. You do your thing and just leave man alone in it. Like you got your talk sport. You're working for people. Like let me just say one thing. I don't really. I think I've subscribed to TalkSport. I watch a couple of the things, but I'm not really interested, to be honest, because TalkSport just hate Arsenal. Like the only man they allow on TalkSport really to come and defend Arsenal is Martin Keown. Other than that, you're not welcome on there unless you hate Arsenal. Simon Jordan might have changed and might do his little defending of Arsenal now, or defending of the tactics that Arsenal use now. But when I first started tuning in, I didn't see none of that from him. Especially when Keown was sitting on the seat there. He seems like an antagonist. He seems like a bit of a gaslighter. He just seems like a prick. And I can imagine a lot of people don't like being around him from our culture. You know what I mean? Because he just seems to have that sort of way about him that is very unlikable unless you're like him. Yeah, make sure you like, comment and subscribe. I don't know how many reactions I'm going to do here, but as long as it's to do with football, the thing makes me laugh, I might just react to it. I've already watched this, so it's not the same reaction. Please watch the Troops TV and watch this thing yourself because it's a good response and it's a leveled response and it's a response that, quite frankly, Simon, you deserved. Like, just stay in your lane. Your lane's a decent lane, right? Yeah, it's for TalkSport. One last thing as well. I've been watching it for a bit and I ain't really seen any black man you've allowed on TalkSport. Why is that? The closest to black I've seen is Gabby Agbonlahor. Yeah, he's a rage baiter. He's a troller to the max. Yeah. Him there. And he loves it. You can tell. He loves winding Arsenal fans up. Now, I think when you eventually see through that he does it to wind Arsenal fans up and he does it for engagement, you'll eventually realise that he's just worth ignoring. His opinions don't hold any weight. You know, he goes on to people for supporting, for not supporting English teams, but then, you know, he's there celebrating supporting PSG against Arsenal. He's ready to drop his morals of supporting English teams because he hates Arsenal that much, or he's just he just contradicts himself. Either way, he's a prick. Peace. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
You wanna know how we do it in Yorkshire? We still get packs and put it in portions. Back then we were smashing up courses. YJ Beamers still get tortured. Course I'm still in the hood, but I might cook food. Check Mike in the orchard.
Drink game live, eat that off a boredom. Thirsty, go to the barman, saw him. You know how we do it in me, still chasing goals and dreams and peace. Lynch, but my dog still get off beans. Drunk in a cup like we don't need sleep.
I don't cheat and sleep. Seats for the week. Have you done 20 bar in a week? 20 bar from the street. I'm knee deep. It's me and Big Mike on the beat.